This climate change is such a scam. When I was growing up, the big thing was deforestation. It wasn't about carbon, um, because carbon feeds your vegetation. And from what I've read and looked up, is that our planet is the greenest it's ever been, and we need the carbon to feed the vegetation. And all this crap about the carbon is a scam because um, when I was going in the 80s, we used to have bad smog problems. So the mechanics and all that worked on the engines and making them not blow out smog and everything. That's why I think that's what AdBlue does, I think. I'm not a mechanic, but they figured it out. So less toxins were getting sprayed into the air. And now what's the new scam? Carbon. I'm like, they're not going to start this again. Because we used to have, like when I was growing up, people used to tie themselves to tractors and trees and stuff to stop people cutting down trees, which is probably, that sounds better than what's going on now. Like the shit that's going on now, you're just like, what are they lying for? You can understand with trees because if they give off oxygen, we breathe oxygen, so we need them. So what they did back when we were growing up, they just planted trees, man. They just, okay, cut down trees, we'll make another patch and regrow them. They take a long time to grow. I think it's like 10 years or something for a tree to grow. So, yeah, it's just all a scam. Talking about we need carbon. You need carbon for the trees, so they give you oxygen, and they're going, stop the carbon. We want carbon zero. And I'm like, so you don't want us to breathe? Well, what do you mean? Well, carbon feeds plants, and plants give off oxygen. I got taught that when I was a kid. And you're saying you want to go carbon zero, so you're going to say oxygen zero. How am I going to breathe then? I'm sorry, but try and make it make sense. Carbon feeds plants, and plants give off oxygen for me to breathe, and you want to go carbon zero. So you wanted me to die. That's what it sounds like. And then you're hearing what the government's doing. Like every other country's like not even doing it, and it's just like Australia's doing it. So personally, I think the government owes its whole population. Yeah, like we're getting ripped off. If every other country's not doing it, and we're the only country that is doing it, this dumb thing, when we've got so much energy in our ground that we can use, and it's just like we're getting ripped off. We're getting ripped off. These guys are playing a game, thinking they're funny. I mean, you heard what that guy read out. Like, if you go to it, it's on. This guy reads out all other countries and how much production they've got of like coal and stuff. Yeah, it's increased. It hasn't decreased. They haven't started doing what Australia's been doing. No, they haven't been doing that. So yeah, we're getting ripped off. Our government is ripping us off blind. Yeah, we should have the cheapest um, power in the world. Instead, we've got the most dearest. Yeah, they're playing us, man. Because I remember growing up, and it was like, yeah, save the trees because we need them for oxygen, and like the smog was real bad, so they fixed it. And now they've got to figure another scam to get money, and a lot of people are falling for it. Climate change, really? I mean, I've done a thing on this before. Like we got what galaxies in the universe, in space, and you got asteroids, meteors, supernovas, like alien planets. Uh, And, well, me personally, I don't really care about it. I mean, this is everything that yous have all said, but now you just want to make up something to try and challenge something that you've already spoken about, like space, asteroids, meteors, and all that. And then you go climate change, and I'm like, so which one is it? Do we have meteors? Do we have asteroids? Do we have supernovas? Do we have space? Do we have the universe? Do we have galaxy? Or is it climate change? Which one? Pick one. You can't have climate change and space and asteroids and meteors and supernovas and everything outside there and then say climate change on the other page. You can't do it. Because if you believe in asteroids and meteors, right, and they come from outer space and they hit the Earth, what's your climate change tax and money and bullshit going to do? Nothing. It's a scam. Sorry, too good for you. I'm smarter than you. These are the same people, rockets to the moon and satellites and all that, but then turn around and say climate change in the same breath. But then we'll say meteors and asteroids, supernovas, that you've gone to the moon and gone to Mars. And I'm like, okay, then why are you going to point out climate change when you've got asteroids and meteors that can do something? And you said there's a massive crater here from an asteroid that's hit the planet, but then you're going to say something about climate change? Oh, we're saving. You're not saving the planet. How? How are you saving the planet? Tell me how you are saving the planet. I'll tell you right now, you're not saving the planet. The planet's going to be safe or not safe with or without you. It's been here before you and it'll be here after you. Unless it explodes into a supernova, because that's what a supernova is. It's a star exploding. And the only way that's got, if the Earth explodes, the sun probably explodes. I'm not the best on that, but I've watched a lot of it, and yeah, every time I hear climate change, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Especially when everyone's talking about pays out people. Like, I'm not a flat earther, but I don't even know. I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to just not even believe in both of them. Just reckon it's all an illusion. Because there's so much bullshit that people talk about, and then they flip flop on it and go back to something else. Like, oh, we've been to the moon, we've been to that. Oh, climate change. And I'm like, I thought we went to the moon. I thought we went to Mars. I thought there's asteroids. I thought there's meteors. But now climate change? Make up your freaking mind. Which one is it? You know? And that's why I'm starting to not believe anything. It's just like, oh, but like the flat earthers, we the ice wall. I don't care about you either. Flat earthers don't care. I reckon it's all an illusion. Because it's just all lie and deceive. That's why I made that song that I've got that I'm trying to, you know, where's the love at? Where's the heart at? Why is everyone got to smart us and piss me off? I want to love, peace, and freedom. Selfish, greedy, something like a demon, lying, stealing, and deceiving, acting like I don't see it, but I do. Because I do, I see it. I see yous. You're just. I see yous, man. I see it. That's why I just not climate change. I'm sitting there just going. These are the same people who tell me about space. The same people who tell me about asteroids, meteors, supernovas, gravity, and then they're going to come in the same breath and tell me about climate change. No, I don't mean to rain on your party, but what happened to the meteors and asteroids that could hit? Oh, you're going to save the planet? How? What if a sun flare comes off the sun and just torches the Earth? What's your climate change going to do then? Oh well, this. Like, come on, it's a scam. Climate change is a scam. Shut up. It's a scam. You can jump around, do the hokey pokey. I don't care. It's a scam. Which one do you believe? Now, do you believe when you're a planet in space, going through the universe? Like you're in a galaxy, going through the universe? Do you believe in that? I mean, I'm just trying to understand how you can believe in climate change if you believe you're in a Earth going around the sun, flying through space, and you're going to believe in climate change. What do you believe in? What do you think is true? Because you're gonna run into a wall on that question. If you believe you're a planet, you're an Earth, right? You're spinning through space. How in the same breath are you going to believe in climate change? Explain it to me. Oh well, you're going to stop the spin as well. You want to stop all time? Like, it's a scam, dude. Scam. It's the biggest scam I've ever heard, man. You're in a planet going around the sun, flying through space, and you're going to tell me about climate change and asteroids and meteors and supernovas and the gravitational push and pull, the magnetic north and south pole, the tilt of the axis, um, and how depending on the gravitational pull from the sun and the tilt of the axis, tells you how cold the glaciers are going to be on the north and south pole and how strong the magnetic fields are. But at the same time, tell me about climate change when the sun can go and just decapitate the earth. But climate change. I ain't no brain surgeon, but that doesn't logically, even rationally, come up as, oh yeah, okay, I believe that. No, not me. That's a scam straight off the bat. You cannot say all this stuff about space and that and then go climate change and the science and all that. Like, yeah, oh, it's the science, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, really? It's a science, is it? No worries. The same people who taught me how the Earth was formed, you know this. Meteors hitting the Earth, and it's all like hot lava, and then other meteors that are hitting, they're bringing like salt and water and iron and all these different minerals and stuff to the planet to give it what we have. These are the scientists and that. Same scientists that bring you climate change. Really? That's a good one. Whose leg you pulling? Climate change. Same people who talk about all this science. Well, I'll tell you right now. How about you all go to do the science and you'll find out that climate change is the biggest scam. If you believe in the planet and all the other planets around us and the sun that's like we're a pebble to the sun. Pebble. A pebble, like a, a little speck. Going around the sun takes 365 days to get around it. That's 1 year. But you're going to tell me about climate change. With my respect to a ball of fire. Respect to it. Climate change. Really? Seriously. Have a think about it. Pass it on. Have a think about it. You're a speck. The sun's huge. You're going around it. Climate change. Yeah, pull my, you know what? Really, we're a speck to the sun and we're going around it. And you're going to get a bunch of people tell you about climate change. But they were the same people who tell you about the sun, Mars, Neptune, Saturn. I'll say it again, asteroids, supernovas, Same people tell you all this, and then you respect the sun, but then turn around and tell you climate change. And how the universe is expanding. They can't reach the end of it. Climate change. But we've got black holes and, yeah, that have seen Earths that are like 3 times the size of ours, but climate change. I don't know how many times you're going to have to keep doing this to get it through your head. Climate change is the biggest scam. Scam. Absolute scam. What you're going to tell me about the Earth, really? When they're talking about there's like billions of galaxies with planets in them? Climate change. Same people who told you all this and then climate change. Really? Seriously? I'm not I'm not the smartest man, but yeah, that doesn't even logically connect. Climate change. But we live in this massive universe full of galaxies, but climate change. I was watching this documentary where it had, imagine if 2 galaxies collided. Imagine the impact and the explosion in space. But climate change. Really, they said they had these scientists were going through experiments to see what would happen if 2 galaxies. We're a galaxy, right? We're in a galaxy with the Milky Way and everything. They imagine if 2 of them, our galaxy and another galaxy, hit each other and the impact it would have. But climate change. Are you a moron? Oh, I'm the moron. Sorry. But you're the one who's gullible enough to believe in climate change. When I've watched a documentary on dwarf planets that had more, they've found that had more Earth than us, but climate change. I mean, they show it in your face and you still believe in climate change. That's like a guy doing a trick in front of you, showing you where the deceit is, and you still falling for the trick. So I'm telling you, climate change is a scam. Or you don't believe in galaxies and planets and anything. I mean, me, I'm starting to, like, I don't know whether it's true or it's a matrix or whatever, but I believe in Jesus. I know Jesus out of everything is true. That's one thing that's coming out as true is Jesus. Everything else is just a lie at the moment, while Jesus is just coming out, yeah, that's true. And everything else is a lie. So I did this thing on the climate change things because I was watching the guy do it. I was talking about how much tons and everything other countries are using. And I'm just like, our country's just ripping us off. But these people who are still using their things are still going along with the climate change bullshit. Green zero. And I'm just like, no. It's a scam. It is. It's a scam. What do you believe in? Do you believe in space? Do you believe in all the other stuff? Then how can you have climate change? Tell me, explain it. If I've watched a documentary on galaxies, right, and scientists going, if 2 galaxies hit each other, it's sayonara. But you want to let the government tell you about climate change on a little speck compared to the thing that's out there that's giving you light, the big sun, right? You respect to it, and you're going to get a bunch of people telling you to give you money and all these taxes, and you have to not have a good life, right? They're going to tell you all this on your spec to the sun and blame it on something that we have nothing to do with. All it is about the toxins that are going in our body. It's got nothing to do with the planet. The planet, it comes from the planet and then goes back into it. How do I know that? Because it goes into the trees and the trees give up oxygen. That's how I know. Because what do you think hasn't happened in so long that is like rare that used to happen probably back in the day? Volcanic eruptions. And what do volcanic eruptions do? They give a big burst of like carbon with when they shoot out all their fire, the lava and everything. What comes out of it too? Carbon, and it sprays the whole earth, and then the vegetation comes back up. But now we're taking it out of the earth so the volcanoes don't have to erupt. But we still have volcanic eruptions. Why? Because we're not giving enough carbon to the earth to feed. Oh, how did I know that? I done a project on volcanoes when I was in year 3. Yeah, like you hear the project they're doing now. It's got nothing to do with what we're living on. It's some dumb shit. I'm an expert in this, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. I just know nothing about what they're on. I have no idea what. They just listen to what the government tells them, and I'm like, the government blatantly lies to their face, and they're just, oh, there, did you hear that about the government? I'm like, um, that's bullshit. Like, yeah, like the best thing we do is take stuff from the earth. Stop building up because there's volcanoes everywhere, but they rarely explode now because there's no build up. I mean, you go look at the planet, right, and go find out how many volcanoes are on the planet and how many are actually going off. Hardly any. Hardly any volcanoes go off. Well, they talk about climate change and it's a bad thing. No, more volcanoes and cyclones and all that used to go off back in the past. But we're using resources from the ground so the pressure doesn't build up for the volcanoes to explode. We still have cyclones and tornadoes and all that, but less volcano eruptions, less tectonic movements. Yeah, so I mean, tectonic plates, like climate change caused it. No, it didn't. The Earth tectonic plates move. They were moving before we were here. If you go off the science, everyone's always talking about science. Okay, well, go do the science research on the planet. Okay, instead of bullshitting everybody, actually go do research on the planet and how it forms and how it moved. Because climate change is the biggest scam, and you've been hoodwinked by the government, by all of them. It's the biggest scam worldwide is climate change. These guys are like mobsters with that. The science proves it. Okay, well, prove the science does it. Oh, have you ever been fully proven that it's a fact? No, you haven't. Never, not once. But they keep pushing it, don't they? Because it's a scam, and they just go, and how they do it. It's true. It's a fact, and you will believe it. And you're like, we'll prove it then. No, it's a fact, and you're like, you haven't proven it yet. All you're saying is, oh, the temperature's rising, this and that. And you're like, you haven't proven it. You're just saying shit. Having theories. That's not a fact. That's not proof. That's a theory. The amount of times I've said that to people, go, that's a theory. That's not actual proof or a fact. That's an actual theory. And they've got data that says that like there's been decades, like in periods that have been hotter than now. For instance, the 1930s, like they said, was hotter than now. Like, it's just a scam. I mean, they've had periods where they've had massive, like in parts of history that have been cooler. But you keep letting the government hoodwink you. Seriously. You keep letting other human beings, right? Other humans, right? Other humans. I'll say it again. Other humans tell you that they're not gonna be scamming you. That they're not gonna be lying to you. That they're not gonna be lying to you. They're not gonna be trying to deceive you. You let other humans do that to you. You let other humans do that to you. And you believe them? Like you just believe somebody because they're in a position because they said so? Oh, they said so, believe it. No, I'm not believing it. No way. Climate change. Yeah, no worries. Why, at the same breath, say there's Mars, Saturn, Neptune, an asteroid belt. No. Yeah, that's the end of it. And you scientists should know better. You keep pushing this lie. I know it's not all scientists. A lot of scientists are like, I'm not going along with this shit. So, yeah. Praise Jesus. Yeah, I believe in Jesus and science. But don't try and lie with science and say it's fact when it's not. Praise Jesus.